Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Karen's podcast. And this week we are doing part 2 of our amazing interview with Leila Spires of Sunglow Path, the tarot card reader and psychic that we had in part 1 interview with last week. She is a tarot card reader, also has some psychic abilities that she shared with us. Super interesting stuff. So please buckle up and tune in for part 2. Enjoy.
This is like my newest favorite human that I met at a wine bar that we were working at, no longer working at, but just like vibed from the minute that we met.
So Megan and I had a very special connection. Megan has a way of making you feel like you've already known her for a long time. So when I met Megan, I was like, oh my God, I feel like I've known her forever. So I do tarot card readings. I started that this year. I grew up with a relatively witchy mom. So she was into astrology a little bit growing up, and she was also into witchy stuff. So I was always adjacent to astrology, but I didn't really look into it until college.
So how'd you go from that to tarot?
Right. Well, in college, I also was like, oh, I feel like I'm definitely psychic. There's definitely things in my childhood that and we all are psychic. We all have a sense of or being a psychic, and it just depends on what level you use, kind of. And I was like, oh, I feel like I'm using a huge level of my psychic abilities. I would like to look into that. So I looked into it, and I was like, all right, I don't really feel comfortable doing a reading for somebody without a guide to help me through the reading. And I was like, okay, so how about tarot cards? Because tarot cards are interesting because you can you're pulling random cards. So it helps you guide your reading. So tarot cards are used as a tool. It was originally supposed to be a game. What turned into a game is now a tool. And basically what happens is when I'm shuffling the cards will come flying out while I'm shuffling, and I use those cards to help the person, my client, whoever I'm reading.
What about when you pull a scary card or a death card, or if you sitting across from somebody that you just like I was talking to my partner the other day because she listens to a lot of the murder podcasts and stuff. Okay. And I remember 3 months ago,
your wife,
my wife.
No, they're not married.
They're
not legally married.
Happy Pride Month.
What's that?
Oh yeah,
Happy Pride Month.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
But she was telling me the other day, I don't know how long ago this was, but she came back, she was picking up burritos or something, and she's like, dude, there was this super scary dude that was just staring at me when I walked into the restaurant to pick up the food and walked back out. She's like, I didn't even want to look at him. It was just evil was coming off him. She's like, I did not like the look behind his eyes. And I'm like, we think about that guy every now and then. And I'm just I'm wondering, do you ever get that sense? Or you just know somebody's fucking not good?
Yeah. Yes.
Do you guys not?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
No, I think we all do.
Yeah.
But I mean, for her, do you ever get do you kind of know why?
Yes.
Do you ever get,
oh yes.
He was like, I know that the body is in this refrigerator at at this address.
Yeah.
I'm
so that was kind of 2 questions, I guess. What happens if you were doing one of our readings and you got you don't have long. Do you ever get cards like that? I mean,
okay, so
because Amanda wants to know.
I don't want to know
unless
it's a long life, but don't tell me otherwise.
Yeah. There are definitely things people want to know and what people do not want to know. And it's my job as their reader to figure out what's the best thing to tell them in the moment. So whether I have a message for them or not, or something that I know about them that I may not want to share yet, that makes you a good reader or a bad reader. It really does. Just deciphering what you should tell your client and what you shouldn't. But there are no bad cards in the tarot deck. There's no the death card is not a bad card. The devil card isn't a bad card.
Oh, okay.
It all is dependent on the situation you're talking about.
I would think that the devil card is bad.
No,
But it's interpretation. Like,
It's
think of like the
interpretation, yeah.
death card could be like, I could have drawn the death card like leaving
Sure, I
San
get the death
Francisco.
card for
The
sure.
devil card,
But the
but
devil
like,
card is like seems like it's pretty
Do you
straight.
know what's on the devil card? So it's the devil, obviously, and it's two people chained to him. So with that card, if I pull that card, and I've pulled that card for plenty of people, what my interpretation usually, obviously, this is all,
relative to that person.
very based, yeah. Usually I'll say, okay, there needs to be some sort of habits that you need to break out of. There are
Addiction.
habits that you're chained to that you need, that is only furthering your suffering, because the devil obviously furthering suffering, and you're chained to them. So I always say, like, what is a habit that you would be comfortable sharing with me, or something that that you're not being able to get out of, and that cycle is hurting you more. Let's talk about it, and then we'll go from there. But the devil card is
makes sense.
to kind of like tell me, like, okay, they're in a rough situation. Now, people also do reversals. So reversals are when the card that you pull is reversed to you, so it's like not facing you. So that means that you're lacking it, or it's like more of a negative connotation.
Oh, so like actually the pulling of it, the place.
Right.
Yeah. And what about the placement? Can I ask you that? Because I've been to different readings where they like the placement of the card. And Sue, I feel like, not the last one I went to, but the one we went into New Orleans, like he was very specific about the way he placed the cards. Do you remember that? You don't? Okay.
Was there anything else that you remembered from your reading, Susan and Megan, that besides the placement?
Well, Susan had like you had like some gold bracelet situation.
It said that I was going to lose all my money. Yeah. And that I was not going to, he didn't say I wasn't going to have kids, but he said that there was that was not a possibility. There was something wrong. Because I think this is all before I got really sick. And I just remember the reading scared my husband so bad at the time that he was like, he like was pissed.
Oh.
Yeah.
Susan, did any of your readings, because you said you've had multiple, did any of the same information come up more than once?
I'm trying to go back right now. No, ironically, I don't think anything came up. The only thing that's come up the same is literally for work-wise, the same thing keeps coming up.
Which is you're going to start a new job.
Fuck you. No, it was that I was going to be doing a job where it was creative focused.
Oh, okay.
And that's come up multiple times, so I don't know.
Okay.
Like go pay for that creativity.
Yeah.
I mean, it's listening to Leila talking, and it's interesting because I've had it. Like I keep thinking, did anyone not see this coming? Like all the bullshit I've been through for the past 6 years, no one saw any of it.
Yeah,
I did.
I think it's hard because
like maybe we were your tarot card readers, but
I mean, though I will say this: if you go back and look at how things did, because I had that lawsuit, I did lose all my money, but I ended up getting it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Because I had to put all my money out, but it was just interesting.
Yeah, some of it, has kind of, and I think
sounds like some of it's come true in the kid thing.
True, yeah.
I mean, that's if you're directly going back with a correlation.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's also something to be said. It comes back with astrology where people are like, oh, well, I'm like, let's just say I'm an Aquarius, and then you meet another Aquarius and like, we're nothing alike. And it's like, you can have the same like personality traits. They just protrude in a different way. Like I've known people who I would say are, let's just say like super creative, but like creative is, you can be creative in a million different ways. Yeah. Some people are like, I'm very stubborn. And I'm like, but you can be stubborn in specific ways that are like helpful for you and stubborn in ways that are harmful.
Well, and and Leila, maybe you can correct me or clarify, isn't the rising, isn't that more of like how you are perceived? Like, for example, like if I'm Scorpio rising, isn't that kind of a little bit more how I'm perceived? That's how I understood it. But
the way that I interpret like the signs are, so your sun sign is your birthday. So whatever your sun sign is, and that's how you come off to other people. That's more of like a mask, quote unquote. I'm personally a Libra sun, so I come off like a Libra to other people sometimes, depending on because there's so many different scales to different signs, and also depends on your month, because you know how you could have an October Scorpio and a November Scorpio, so it just depends. And then your moon sign that's when it gets into, okay, your best friends, your family, your coworkers, people who know you and see you day to day, they know how you operate, they know your patterns and stuff like that. That is more reflective of your moon sign. So the people that are closest to you, your partners, they'll know you as your moon sign. And then your rising sign is more of like your ego and your thoughts and the way that you process your thoughts and your thinking. So my friend is a Capricorn rising. So I know her based off of knowing that she's Capricorn rising, and I'm doing a reading. Okay, I'm putting my reading into a Capricorn rising's point of view. So I'm like, if you do this X, Y, and Z in this setting, you're gonna be great in this because you're a Capricorn rising, because that's the way that you think. So you're able to process numbers very well. Really great for that. So
do you always know somebody's sign? Do you ask that before you do a reading?
I don't always ask that before I do a reading. I would like to, but I also sometimes I've been put in situations where I'm like, all right, let's just do a reading real quick. And I'm like, but sometimes I usually like to have that knowledge.
Yeah. If it's somebody that you didn't know. Like, I know you will like pull cards for, like your best friend. She'll be like, I just need you to pull my cards. And like, that can be a very quick thing. It's not like you're sitting down for like an hour-long reading with a client. It's just a different thing. But like, so if you didn't know,
I've done a couple readings. Yeah, I've done a couple readings and figured out their sign after the reading. So that's been also validating too. Because I was like, okay, cool. I kind of like got those vibes in the reading, and I was like, are you Pisces? And they were like, yes, I'm a Pisces. And I was like, okay, that makes sense because you keep pulling water signs. Yeah. There's cards everywhere that will have water all over them. It must be a water sign. What's going on? So yeah, I do like to know people's signs beforehand, but kind of going back to the question you had about how Amanda, your partner was in the burrito shop and like saw that person and was like, ugh, I can't take that. Yeah. I also feel that too. I definitely can see that. And they say the eyes are the window to the soul. So something about me is I hate eye contact sometimes. Like if I am around a person, I can sense like there's like something off and a little, not something I don't want to take on, like energy that I don't want to take on. I have a hard time keeping eye contact with them because it's like the more attention you give them, the more energy kind of they're pulling away from you.
They'll suck away from
You'll kind of feel that. I feel that sometimes with people. Yeah. It's hard. But and back to the card placement real quick. I wanted to just on that. So the way that I do my readings is I let the cards kind of fly wherever they want to, and I pick them up, and then I'm like, okay, this is how I'm interpreting. But every reader is different. That kind of goes back to Susan's point where it's like, oh, well, this person, how could everybody miss like all these things? And it's just, it's so interesting because first of all, again, I always will bring this right back to people. And I also have this on when I give people kind of like a guide of how I'm going to do readings, I say, you have free will. Okay. Everything I tell you today might not happen because you choose not to do something, but I'm just telling you that you have free will. So people kind of forget free will. Number two, readers have different ways of reading. So they might get messages that other readers wouldn't get. And also number three, sometimes spirit doesn't want to tell you something in the moment. Sometimes they want you to just feel out what happens in your life and let it play out before you get to know. Because if we knew everything before everything happened, we would miss the human experience and then therefore kind of miss our lessons that we're learning. So sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That makes sense.
But then obviously there are readers that take advantage of that. So, and that's kind of where I'm like, I understand why people are a little like, I don't really believe in this. I'm suspicious of the words. I totally get that because it's hard to believe something that you don't know is to be true yet. So it's true.
Yeah. And then any luck with lotto numbers?
777.
I don't think we'd all be here, darling.
It always circles back to money for Amanda.
Money. Yeah, that comes up a lot too. I don't know if I am that type of person that could do that. I'm sure there are definitely readers out there that could.
I think a lot more people would be winning the lottery if
And are you all like Are you
Leila
all
and I
open
wouldn't even
to-
be in this conversation right now.
Right?
Yeah, no, true.
That's where we have the abilities for that. None of us
Are you
would
all
be. We'd
open
all
to
be
like
on a
and stuff like that?
Yeah.
yeah.
Open to them? Okay.
Yeah, we'll have to get we were gonna try to all get one when we were
When
on
we were
our
yeah, when we were in
parent, but then
Arizona.
we learned that we couldn't all. We wanted to all go to kind of together to spend time together.
Wow.
Well,
Okay,
like yeah,
thing.
Amanda wanted to do like a group thing, and I was like, a lot of tarot card readers do not do that.
Yeah, that wasn't I don't think that's why I never thought that we'd be able to go together. I just
did.
Amanda did.
Yeah.
And I think once we realized that, or we
So that's
told
like a
her
whole
that
day.
couldn't happen, we were like, okay,
Well,
that's
it's like a whole day of all four of us.
Because when we did, because when we went to New Orleans and a bunch of us got readings, it was like a half hour. So it was like a 3-hour experience where we were all like each going in and getting our reading and then coming back and having drinks and telling each other about our readings.
Last person's shit-faced and doesn't She said some shit. I don't know.
That's awesome. What do you all have? I'm interested to kind of hear from you. What do you expect your reader to tell you? What are some of the expectations you have going into a reading?
Oh, good question.
I have some big questions right now that I would love to get answered. I'm having a hard time making some financial decisions, and I'm scared that I'm going to make another wrong one because I made some bad ones over the last few years. And so now I'm just like feeling like I'm not making any decision, or I'm just like waiting for something to happen to give me like a path. And then I think I'm doing something right, but then something else happens and I'm like, maybe I'm not doing it the right thing. I have like two of those big things happening right now, trying to unwind terrible partnerships. And I'm like, oh,
you need a reading, Amanda. You need a reading.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm good. I get to hang out with you a lot. And I feel like right now I had therapy today and I was like, oh, I'm feeling very solid. So I feel like I'm good right now.
Awesome, man.
Is there anything that like makes you, is there anything to you all that makes you say, okay, that person's legit because I heard this is what I needed to hear? Or like you have like an expectation kind of going into a reading.
Oh, you mean like if we were going to choose someone to go do a reading?
Right. Like what would you expect from a reader?
Like Amanda, are you wanting like an answer? Like this is what you need to do, or are you wanting?
I would love direction. Yeah.
Direction.
Okay. Direction.
I don't know if that's a thing based on.
I would imagine that probably is because you pull a card.
Help me make a decision.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, more like too. Like, is there anything from? Basically, what I'm trying to say is there anything to you all that you're like, okay, that person is
that
legit.
Reader knows what
that person, like any signs or anything, any appearances or anything like that like makes you say, okay, that person's legit.
I think this super like cliche expectation is, I think so many people go in like wanting to like connect with people that are no longer here. And so, a lot of people are like, oh yeah, she brought up my mom or she brought up so-and-so. I just feel like that is a kind of a general expectation.
Which is weird because that would be a medium, which is totally different than not totally different, but I mean
we're mixing. But I think Leila's like, what would like
a medium. But I think a lot of people would go into a tarot card reading and think that because that's like they think of the mystical and they think of like the woo-woo, exactly. Right. But like tarot card readings are so much more about you as a person and your experience and have really, am I wrong, have nothing to do with like the others
people.
I when I do my readings, I do offer like mediumship as like a separate like add-on thing because it's different because it's like you're pulling from a different type of energy, whereas when I'm reading people, I'm reading them in the moment, what's going on in your life right now versus like what happened in the past and if we can connect with them. That's completely different. But it's also interesting because I am definitely not an expert medium person yet. That I can only do it sometimes. And
you had some moments though you've pulled.
Oh, there
for me, like like you've touched, like you've reached out to me at times when I was like, holy shit. Like I was having moments or struggling right then with like grief and Kurt and whatnot. And like, no, we hadn't talked in a day or two. Like nobody would know. You wouldn't know something significant had happened. So, I mean, you're definitely growing in those skills for sure. Whether that just be like our friendship base or medium based, I will say.
Yeah.
You've hit the nail on the head a few times, for sure.
You're right. Yeah. It's hard, but it's like something that kind of already happens in the reading. But also, I'm interested to hear from Susan specifically on this.
Well, it wasn't.
Really wanted to
mine's the
hear what
opposite.
you're legitimate.
No. Mine's the opposite. I wasn't going to tell you what was like would constitute as legitimate. It was more about when I don't think they're legitimate.
Okay.
And so I had a reading in February, I think, maybe. I can't remember. I think it was around Valentine's Day. Me and a bunch of girlfriends went to what they had planned for a fun night out. The person did tarot cards, but also was a medium. And I was, I think, the second to last person to go. And 3 out of the 4 of us that got everything done, I was like the two, like 3 of them all had weird stuff told to them independently that no one else would know. And then when she did me, she read me, and then this is where I say I don't think it's legitimate, was that she then tried to upsell me into spending like $1,000.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. To come back and have my chakras cleared.
Just you, only you specifically?
Yes.
The easiest sale is to a salesperson.
But then I was like, yeah, no, that's not happening. But so that's what
call
was
some
weird.
Stuff. But she
did for the other 3 friends, because we all like got drinks after and like basically
like, so you got to talk
notes
about it after. Yeah, you didn't know any of that beforehand.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, so that's why you were like thinking, yeah. Well, yeah, maybe she knew. Maybe you, I don't know, had more expendable income.
No, because actually I probably was the least expendable income in this group.
Yeah. And then would that be weird, right, Leila? Like, that would be a weird thing to
that
then
is
like.
So weird to me. And that's the part where I'm like, that's why I understand why people are
suspect.
Like, they're just like,
well, it is a business too at the same time.
It is, but like,
got to be, I guess, a kind of.
But what do you just like kind of say, hey, maybe I think like there's some more work that, could be done here. Here's my card. Reach out to me if like you're feeling blocked or something along those lines. You don't say, here, you need $1,000 to clear your chakras and all. I mean, that's just like,
I mean, that just goes back to like other work too. Like anybody who's passionate about work, like you can tell when people are in it for the money or they're in it because they're passionate about it. Personally, I'm in it to help other people and to use my gift for good. And I definitely do not do that in the middle of a reading and market coming back for a chakra clearing that she probably was not licensed to do based off of that. It happens all the time though. It happens
Leila,
all
stick
the time.
that person in your freezer.
I know.
She sticks people in her freezer, by the way. I know that.
Yeah, you be careful. I'll stick you in my freezer. I'll put you in my shoe and stomp on you all day.
I remember she did tell me at the beginning, she was like, just, something had happened. And she's like, I put them in my freezer. And I'm like, I fucking love this.
And you know what's funny, Megan, is when I moved, God knows, I think that she took her out of the freezer because she did not stop. Yeah. There was like a period of rest and then boom, she's right back because I forgot about my freezer spell. But so I think it's hard. People upsell things, and I think it's just a market where people think that they don't have it in them. So like, well, I would need to pay for the service. How am I possibly going to figure this out if I don't have the service done? And it's like, you can figure it out, but if you want a service done, please get it from a legitimate person and not somebody who's going to be like, kind of like the psychic shops and stuff like that. I know Megan, it was my other friend who had asked me, Leila, would you ever want your own, studio?
Like,
no. I don't. I really don't. I mean, unless it was gifted to me, I don't think there's a reason to have a studio. I think I can do all my readings online. I know people are kind of like, how could that possibly be the case? But it actually works. So,
and you also go to people or have them come
I'll go to people's houses. Yeah.
But like, you don't need a storefront for that.
Do you feel like it's more effective or easier when you're in person? It seems like it would be. But I
get that read better. Yeah.
I've found it's 50-50. It doesn't really matter because when I'm reading at home, I am in my own energy. So I'm in my own comfortability. I'm in my space that makes me comfortable and open to receive and ready to receive. So when I do readings from home, like as if we were right here, right now, it would be just as accurate as if I were in person, because I'm still feeding off of like the energy that I'm trying to talk about. So at least I'm in my own space where I'm comfortable. I've actually had some of the best readings I've ever had on Zoom. So
okay.
On Zoom, because
so you're saying stay away from the 900 number.
Yeah. What was that? What was that? It was the psychic. What was her name?
Psychic hotline, baby.
Back in the day, though. But what was somebody's
like
name? It was a woman.
She was a there
Are you
was
talking
like
about Dionne Warwick?
Yes, Diane.
Yes.
She was like the. Oh my God, we're so old. She was a singer. She wasn't doing the readings. She was just selling the readings, I think.
She blonde?
No, she's short hair.
She's Whitney Houston's aunt.
That's right.
Probably in her late 70s, early 80s now.
Okay.
Yeah, she was one of the singers of the what's that song? Keep laughing, keep smiling. Whatever. You got a friend, not you got a friend in me, but that's what friends are for.
That's what
friends are for.
Yeah.
She was doing readings too.
No,
she didn't do the reading.
No, she promoted.
She was the person. Yeah, she was the person that we were like, oh, she's legit. We love Dionne Warwick, so of course, if she's selling this, it was like the psychic hotline, and then you'd get on to.
Yeah, I was
God knows.
Also, not to. Again, I'm not trying to take away from anybody's business, but I also stay away usually from like fairs and stuff. It's really hard to do a reading when you're in a setting like a freaking state fair or something. That's not going to be a great reading for you. And you should probably save that $100 for something else. Like, it's just, I always used to get those when I was a kid because it's like, it was fun, but it was if you can't do a reading when there's a million things going on around you. You just you have to focus.
That makes sense.
I have done those.
Yeah. I mean, it's fun. It's still fun. Sometimes they're really accurate, but I think if you really spend your money, I always spend somebody on a one-on-one type of thing.
Go buy a $20 beer and $15 hot dog.
Exactly.
Have your own experience.
Your own chakra cleaning.
Yeah, exactly.
And a lot of people have asked me, I don't know what your opinion is on like having a reader on dial as well as a doctor, as well as like a therapist, as well as X, Y, and Z. Like, is that so? Because that's important to me.
Yeah.
But people have, told me that it's important to have like that spiritual thing checked as well as the other things that they have to have checked off.
Well, I think, Susan, you've had somebody who's done more of like the medium or the psychic work with you that you've seen repetitively, correct?
Yeah, I have. But I stopped seeing her about 2 years ago 3 years ago when things went left.
Okay. But you were consulting.
I would check in once a year.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I have a friend, the other Susan, I mean, she has somebody that she's worked with consistently. And I don't know. I think that's probably, just touching base on your spiritual realm, and your emotional well-being is just as important as like having but I mean, if you're into that, I guess I am into that. So I think that's important just as much as a therapist or an MD. Yeah.
When's the next time you're going to have something spiritual in your life, Megan? What are you up to?
I don't know, Leila. When are we going to do that? I'm thinking I don't know. I'm thinking I could.
I have not read for Megan, which is fine. Yeah. We have like our own thing going, kind of.
Yeah, so we will have to. I think we might have to do a Karen.
Megan, you're going to have to start paying this woman.
I know.
$1,000.
I help decorate her altar. I buy her things for her house.
Yeah, she really did.
Thank you so much, Leila, for giving us
that was awesome.
So much of your time. And thank you for listening to another episode of the Karen's podcast. If you'd like to reach out to Leila Spires at Sunglow Path to inquire about her tarot card reading and psychic services, you can reach her at sunglowpath@gmail.com. That's sun, Sunglow, GLOW, Path, PATH, at gmail.com. And please remember to like and subscribe. If you like our little podcast, we'd be really appreciative if you could share it with just one person you think might enjoy it. And remember, you can hear us new every Monday on all the usual suspects, including YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, and CastBox. And as always, we are the Karens, where we have opinions on everything, but we are experts on absolutely nothing. Have a great week.